So it's David Huffman here from the Yacht Brokers, and today we're on board a 2019 Aquila 44. Obviously, we got Yacht Masters behind us doing the survey here on the hull of the Aquila 44. This is going to be more of an in-depth, more semi-technical kind of video for an Aquila 44 because we get so many questions about this particular boat. This is one of the absolute most popular, I would say, best-selling vessels under $1 million that is available in today's market. And obviously it's a Powercat, so we love them, but we do a lot of the sales for Aquila 44 on the used market. And this particular one here is a 2019 going through her survey today. Come along, let's kind of check out, let's go through the vessel, and we'll show you kind of all the kinds of ins and outs here of an Aquila 44. As always, just as important as it is to get a surveyor on board that kind of does the general survey, that is going to be somebody like this gentleman, Mr. Jack here from Yacht Masters. Why it's important to be a surveyor or have a surveyor on the boat if you're a buyer, and for sellers not to be like freaked out that you guys are obviously like deal killers, because you're not. You're there to give an honest opinion on what the condition is of the vessel. Like, give a little insight to what you bring to the table for a buyer and a seller.
Every process of a purchase of a boat, everyone's being represented, whether it's the broker for the selling party, broker for the buying party, surveyor, engine surveyor. Everyone's being represented and or disclosing what they know of the vessel. As a surveyor, I'm going to go through and detail everything that I know that needs to be fixed, so it gets fixed before delivery of the boat. Disclose it, move along. That's it. We're not here to even talk about design of the boat. Just disclose exactly what we find, a recommendation, how to fix it, pass along that information. What's next is up to them.
Yeah, I think it's important to know that it's really up to the buyer on what they want to ask the seller for. So even though Jack may find some issues and things that he would personally recommend to make the vessel 100%, it really is kind of up to the buyer if they want to request that from the seller or not. We really appreciate you, Jack, coming out today. Look forward.
Of course.
About to go in the hull out here now, so Jack will take a look at the hull and kind of go through the whole bottoms. We'll let you see a little bit of kind of what he does as he knocks around a little bit. So let's check out the bottom of the boat first. Of course, all you guys normally see is what's above the water. What's really important down here, though, is what's below the water, because it protects everything. On this particular Aquila 44, you'll kind of notice that there's no bow thruster or no bow thrusters. And a lot of the 44s don't have a bow thruster. And the truth is, because these hulls and these engines are so far apart, you really don't need bow thrusters on a Powercat like this. They're very easy to be able to steer. But what a lot of people don't understand too is a lot of these boats actually have a bow thruster here on the starboard side. The problem with that, if you're trying to park starboard too, it's throwing its exhaust this way. Well, what's over here? It's another hull. It's pushing that hull that way. So really, for a lot of these Aquila 44s that even have a bow thruster, it's hard for them to park starboard too, because you don't have much, with a bow thruster, because it doesn't really help much. If you're going port to, then it does help a little bit more because the thrust is going outward. Kind of keep that in mind. These boats, it really is nimble and easy to be able to drive without a bow thruster, and a lot of the 44s don't actually have that as an option. We've got the escape hatches, which are pretty cool in the Aquila 44. So this is underneath both guest staterooms down here. These actually are breakable. There's a hammer that sits underneath there. These are technically under the steps, but these are a great exit route for maybe somebody that's a little bit bigger that can get through a hatch, that can get through this particular door here. Really important for safety. If something was blocking the egress there, fire or something, hopefully that ever happens, then you'd have an escape route. So very good thought process there on the Aquila 44 that they did with that. So a couple cool things here on the Aquila 44. We've got an actual sacrificial skeg here. So this skeg here, the only thing protecting it once it comes down, and if it does hit sand or hit rocks or what have you. So this is actually designed to basically break off if you hit something really hard. As you can see here, it's raining around a little bit there with some stuff, but it's protected the rudder and the prop in itself, which is obviously the most important piece. So a cool design here on these is that this will actually break off, and they're pretty easy to be able to have repaired. It's not going to hurt the actual hull itself. All the Aquilas have a straight shaft. A lot of people out here in today's world really prefer straight shafts here, especially in North America. That's one of the problems, like the Fontaine Bajots and some of the other brands that had IPS systems. Good in true blue water environments, not so good in our shallow water and going obviously down into the Bahamas and stuff. So in this case, the straight shafts are a great option. In this case, we have got obviously straight shafts to prop, and then you've got the rudder control here, underwater lighting. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea what under the water looks like, and some features that, like this particular vessel or maybe another vessels you're considering, you might want to make sure that they have. But next, let's head upstairs and go through above the water, which is the fun part, and check out a little bit more about the Aquila 44 and why everybody loves it so much. Got done with the below the waterline stuff, so now we're getting started above the waterline. And I kind of wanted to start out here actually on the bow of the Aquila 44 and kind of show you some components of it. Down here in the forward hatch, we have lots and lots and lots of storage. This also has a freshwater storage as well, and you can see the two water pumps there. So you can tell in the Catamaran we have tons of storage up here, these forward peaks. On the opposite side, on the starboard side, exactly the same size, and another freshwater tank there as well, which is really good for being underway. This particular boat, as you can see, these rails that are here in the front and the snaps in the back, it actually does have a full cushioned area here for you as well. Some have it, some don't, but very cool to be able to put all that up. It's over here in storage and be able to hang out. If you notice up here kind of too, the steps that lead up to the Flybridge, that is kind of an Aquila thing. A lot of people call it like a Portuguese flybridge. It's kind of like a technical Portuguese flybridge, but we'll call it that for that sake. But super cool, as you can see the helm up there. If you're sitting up there in the driver's seat, you wanted to come down and be able to get to the anchor or get to a mooring ball, you got direct access down the bow to be able to do that very quickly. And I also like to point out kind of how these overhangs are on the windshield. Really helps with no direct sun inside the Salon. So a lot of times we'll get direct sunlight into a Salon, and I mean it's beautiful when you're on the inside, but boy does it get hot during the summer months and everything. All these Powercats, if you look in the front, generally will have 1 to 2 anchors. 44 actually comes 2 anchor options. If you notice right here too, you'll see kind of where the bridle is. So kind of different than a monohull, we have 2 sponsons. So in that case, if we just attach to the center here, we'd really be kind of moving around a lot more than normal. So these cats actually come with a bridle to be able to hook up on both sides of the vessel, and you attach that to the chain, then you kind of slack the chain a little bit, so that way it's being pulled from a single point out there, the anchor, but it's being pulled by both sponsons at the same time. So that helps kind of keep it really stable at the bow area. So this is the kind of the layout. Obviously got some comfortable seats up front here in the bow and everything. Tell you what, let's head on the inside and let me show you a little bit more about the cabins that the Aquila 44 has as well. Here we are down into the forward cabin, full beam, on deck, basically master in the Aquila 44. Remember guys, this is just a 44-foot boat. I think Aquila did a great job. If you really want a large kind of master stateroom, Aquila knocked it out of the park with just a 44-foot boat. I'm 6'2", so you can kind of see the headroom that I'm getting here now. Of course, this slopes down, so you got to watch that as you crawl into bed. But other than that, you'll see throughout the vessel is very tall, and that's kind of a cool thing about the Aquila. A full queen size bed here as well. Of course, it has its own AC controlled, climate controlled in this particular cabin. And then we come down here, we've got a ton of storage in our hang-up lockers. And inside here, we generally will have hang-up lockers or washer and dryer. Single washer and dryer are stackable. I will say a lot of the washer and dryers in today's world are all-in-one units. They actually work pretty good. At least the newer ones that I've been using the last couple of years work actually pretty well. This has obviously a good place down here as well to be able to sit, do makeup, or actually, to work from as well. Pretty cool little layout here for just a 44-foot boat. If you want to go on down and check out the primary head, it's a pretty good size. As you're seeing right now, you'll see all the storage that's in those cabinets. And then as we go into the head here, just a 44-foot boat, guys. I mean, it got a really cool, completely walk-in shower. It's not a wet head. A lot of the monohulls in this size will obviously have wet heads. A lot of room there. to get ready in. All right, so we're kind of done checking out the primary staterooms. Let's go check out the port starboard side cabins as well. So here we are down into starboard side's cabin. Still a good sized bed. A lot of these boats, different other Powercats have these beds super high. Aquila did a good job with this. As you can tell, it's a little bit over waist high here. One thing to notice, again, I'm 6'2", this is the lower part here, plenty of headroom inside of here. And then one cool thing about these boats, a lot of people don't understand, is that your feet are really at the waterline. So the cool piece is that everything below the waterline gets super skinny. And that super skinny doesn't take away from our cabin space. That super skinny gives us more efficiency as the boat's going through the water. So that in and of itself, in a catamaran design, is why we get definitely more fuel efficiency for similar length boats that are monohull. If you turn around behind you, you'll check out the head there as well. And once again, it is not a wet head. It is a true walk-in shower, which is what most people definitely want in today's market. All right, so now let's just head over to the port side and check that side out. Now we're down to the port side. Very similar setup on this side as well. Still good size, long bed. I like how they extended that to give you a little more leg room. This particular vessel has the upgraded from the factory, has its own stereo system in all the cabins, has its own TV in all the cabins. Some will have that, some won't on the Aquila 44s. It's still a very spacious guest room, lots of storage as always. Little hanging closet, and then of course the head on this one is exactly the same size the starboard side was. This is the best part. So let's find out really why people choose Aquila. Check out these chairs, check out this open bar, check out this galley that's so open to be able to entertain from the outside or entertain from the inside. All this obviously shuts down and closes up, as you've probably seen before. Such an awesome kind of setup here. It has another little secondary sink here to be able to do your drying of your dishes if you'd like as well. Microwave, convection stove top. This particular boat has tons of storage. All of this is storage. Fridge freezer combo here. All these are storage as well. And my favorite part over here is where the wine glasses sit. They go right there. Down below us, right below me, is the house battery bank. So that's where all that is. And then we've got the navigation center over here with a radio, for maritime radio, and then of course the actual radio. Pretty cool here, really quick. You can actually see if any of your bilge pumps are running or not. And then what we have over here in the salon is the entire electric panel on both sides. So Aquila did a good job. They did a shore power 1, shore power 2. So it actually has two 50 amp shore powers for the Aquila 44. More times than not, you can get away like we are right now. We're just running both panels actually just on shore 2. More times than not, you can get away with just doing that unless you're gonna run full AC plus a grill and a stove and some other, microwave. Then you probably want to do the 250 amp shores. But if you're over in the Caribbean, I've been charged like $85 a day for a secondary shore power. So this can really kind of be a little bit of a savings for you. So really easy to be able to operate all this stuff. We've got water maker, you've got all your black water set up here. You've got your freshwater gauges up here. You've got your inverter information over here. Then of course you got your generator. One thing I do want to point out about the generators, a lot of these boats have a 9 kilowatt genset on it. This particular one has the 11.6 Fisher Panda genset, which is a great one. The Fisher Pandas are actually enclosed in its own enclosure, and we can show you some video of that once we go down to the engine room. But pretty cool because they are super quiet. A lot of the 9 kilowatt gensets, a lot of people have complained that it really can't take the load of the entire house, and so you have to do a lot of resets. We had to do that on one of our charters down in BVI a lot. You have to get down in the engine room to be able to do that reset on that 9 kilowatt. And they actually changed out a lot of their 9s to 11 kilowatt gensets. So really recommend kind of keeping an eye out for that or being okay with it. So then once you replace the genset, you definitely want to do 11.6 genset. Moving forward up here into the actual salon. This obviously flips over and gives you a nice handle for being underway, so you can kind of walk yourself through it. Obviously a big seating area here as well. Of course, we prefer sitting outside versus inside, but that's always an option. Underneath here is where the inverter lies. So they all come with 5 kilowatt inverter. Then down here they have the upgraded refrigerator, extra as an option as well. And then we have the TV, 42-inch TV that pops up, right here. So that way, good to be able to entertain and watch. Some will have the interior helm. Pros and cons. Interior helm, super ugly. It just does not look good. These vessels, because of the isinglass up top, we really don't have to have an interior helm. And I kind of like it without. You get more storage inside the salon here. That is an option here as well. So let's go upstairs, check out the Flybridge, keep going through the boat. All right, here we are upstairs in the Flybridge and checking out the helm station here. Most of these boats will come with Raymarine products for the most part. Of course, they all have the Volvo engines. Up here, some will have the Searchlight as well. Of course, we got the windlass. Most all of these will have automatic fire suppression systems in both engine rooms. So if something were to happen down there, to automatically trigger and do that off. This is a great little red light. If it's on, that means that your bilges are running. So you're probably got water someplace that you don't, especially if it stays on for a long period of time. But other than that, simple start and stop, throttle station. Then some will have the bow thruster here, which we talked about earlier. It's not really necessary with these vessels because the engines are so far apart. Cool little station. What I really like about sitting here is that you got the area for other people to be up here with the captain, so everybody can kind of hang out together. And so that makes it kind of super cool that you've got that, of course, from the captain here being able to go straight down and be able to help out with the lines or what have you, or grab the mooring ball. And then back here we've got a little bit more of the outdoor kitchen for upstairs. So this one obviously has the grill over here and seat, cutting board, ice maker. And then most of the guys went for this IceCo, which is a combination fridge freezer, which is pretty cool. Gives you a little additional space, or for storage for provisioning for longer away. This particular boat obviously has new exterior upholstery throughout, so it still looks really good. A great little seating area up here at night, especially when you've got you're on anchor, you got the wind coming in. A lot of people prefer to eat up here, especially when the weather is really nice, because if you're eating downstairs, which will go next, in that particular cockpit area, you don't really get the wind. So it can get kind of warm down there. So in the evening up here is really nice to be able to do that. And lastly, I'll point out the isinglass. This is kind of like the half enclosure, maybe you would call it, for the isinglass. Very common for the owner's versions. These panels, we prefer the panels versus the roll-up panels because these panels just attach straight up and they don't actually fog up as fast, so they'll last a little bit longer. For me, at least, I feel fatigued sometimes when I got wind just blowing in my face for 2 or 3 hours underway. So in this case, you can kind of shut them down. And if you really think about it too, even if you're in inclement weather without an interior helm, I mean, you're fully protected right here as you're going forward. None of this back here is ever going to get you wet. Still pretty good to be able to run without an interior helm, even in adverse weather. But look, the weather's that bad, why risk it, why go anyways? But if you were to do that, these isinglass enclosures will keep you dry while you're on the way. Other cool thing about this helm station I really like is while you're here, you can see both sides of the bow. You also can see straight down to the starboard stern. The only thing you can't see is port sides, so that would require you to kind of kneel over onto the seat to be able to see the side, which is pretty easy. But most of us tend to park starboard side too anyways, so not that big of a deal in all honesty. So you can see 3 points of the vessel, but these boats also generally have the Raymarine reverse camera, so you can keep an eye while you're underway under dinghy, and then it also helps you with docking and clearance from while you're docking as well. All right, so here we are in the engine room of the Aquila 44. We've got obviously the fuel tanks over here, both for the generator and the starboard side engine, all feeds from the same tank. One thing to keep in mind, most of all Aquilas will have the Volvos on them. The option is standard spec is 260 Volvo. Most all of them though have the 300s or 320s. I really recommend getting one that has the 300s and 320s. Very few, but there are a few out there that actually have the MR 370s. But other than that, most will have the Volvo 300s or 320s. And then as you'll see inside here too, we've got the Fisher Panda 11.6 kilowatt generator. So here we are back in the aft cockpit, which is, I'm sitting in my absolute favorite chair on the entire boat. This is where I think is the best seat of the house. You can talk to people on the inside, talk to people on the outside. Super open and great for entertaining. Back here in the stern, we've got some more seating area that we were talking about earlier. This particular boat also has another cover on the top. So as you can see right now, it's just getting some direct sun. So that cover will help keep that whole entire seating area shaded throughout the day. A great place to be in the evening, kind of hanging out as well. Again, I obviously love Powercats. Man, it's just hard to beat, in Aquila 44. This vessel, this 2019 44, is a good one. We had a good survey and sea trial today as well, going through the vessel. Everything looked good. Looks like all is well there. If you're looking and considering a Powercat, we'd love to be able to help you and earn your business. We do a lot of these off market. We do some of them we do take to market. So if you're looking for a particular type of vessel or you want to learn more about the Aquila 44, then definitely reach out, let us know. But let me know in the comments as well, kind of what do you guys think about this boat? Again, it's only a 44-foot boat, and this boat is 21.5-foot wide. It's only 44 feet. Got a lot of living area, a lot of space for this size vessel. I'll also make mention really quick, a lot of people always kind of talk about, well, these vessels are so wide, it's a 21.5-foot beam, so there's just no place to park it. Well, as you can see here, we're tied upside to one of the docks. This is over here in Fort Myers, so we've got, obviously this is a place you could park. Going up the East Coast, true, some docks and some marinas are too narrow for this boat. I mean, in this case, you're looking for a T-dock, or you're looking for, something along those lines to be able, or a different dockage that'll have, wider berths. Sometimes they will charge you for 2 spaces as well, but ultimately the goal is to not have to do that. Aquila is a great app to use to be able to try to find transient parking that might be able to help you out with your wider beam. And of course, in the Caribbean, pretty much every place down there is set up for wide beams because of all the Cats and Powercats, down in the Caribbean. The way I kind of look at it is, yes, at sometimes, maybe going up the East Coast, you are going to have to do a little bit more research and finding a place to stay to kind of route your route out. At the end of the day, man, you've seen how much space that we have in the Salon, and having all of that space, which is similar to like a 55 to maybe even 60-foot monohull, you have all that in a 44-foot boat, and you get to enjoy that space 100% of the time that you're on board. So maybe a little bit of pain point in your routing and stuff versus always having this kind of space in a 44-foot boat. Not to mention you're only paying for dockage for 44 feet versus maybe the monohull of a 55 or 60 footer. I think all in all, it makes sense. I just have to do a little bit more research. So again, thanks for checking this out. Again, like, subscribe. Definitely shoot me the comments. Let me know what you think about the boat, what you like about it the most, what you like about it the least. This boat, obviously, they've stopped production on the 44. So there's a little over 200 hulls made. This one was a 2019, and I believe she was hull 77, I believe. So they're not making these anymore. So for these boats, for 800 to 900,000 or less, that's a lot of boat for the money. So if you're interested in one, like I said before, reach out, let us know, but let me know what you think in the comments as well. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next walkthrough.